It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Is it distracting to see ourselves? Do you want me to get
No,
rid of it?
I won't look at that. I won't look at that.
I just wanted to make sure I was in the camera. I wasn't sure how close I had to
We're
sit.
basically doing a mashup.
Yep.
Okay, mashup.
Warframe devs eat hot food.
Oh.
Talk about.
Hot wings. Let's do it.
We're going to talk about different TV shows
Yeah, man.
and politics.
All of
We're
you.
going to talk about politics.
I'm ready. I'm going to put my phone on
Wow,
vibrate. 'Cause
okay.
So
Wow.
lots of editing, unfortunately.
That's all right.
Yep. But so this is actually something you guys actually don't know this. This is actually something I wanted to do.
Yes.
Pre-Switch release.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I wanted to come up and just hang out, talk about different stuff.
Yeah.
So when you guys proposed it, I was like,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Psychic.
Yeah. So it actually
Well, it's
worked
pre-Stadia release now.
Yeah. Not pre-Switch, pre-Stadia.
out. But you would definitely want to be in a place like that. Stadia,
For Warframe,
Yeah.
yes, I hope
if they
so.
can handle it.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope Warframe continues to launch on every single thing that can launch it.
Yeah, I think the latency, the engineers here are like, you can't beat the speed of light, which is true, right? So how close is the data center to your house? It really is going to be a big part of it. But then the last 2 weeks, for me on Twitter has been like helping people with really terrible PCs try to play the game.
There was a 2008
Right.
GPU person that was
Yeah.
tweeting Steve up, being like, "Hey, I can't load into the orb."
Oh, no, that's fine. That's an interesting part of Stadia's value proposition is it's someone else's problem
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the hardware.
It's
Completely cloud.
The great
Yeah.
it's the standardization of PC gaming. If you want to be a reductionist.
Yeah. But I saw lots of jokes like when they were doing the Stadia announce, and I watched it live stream. It all got blocky and messed up, you know.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it
I
did.
missed it.
You know, and that
Jesus.
was, you know, that's a way to make validate cynical people's opinions.
Yeah.
I
Of
think.
course.
Yeah.
Wait, is the
Yeah.
internet about validating cynical opinions?
It is actually. It was designed from the beginning. DARPA had this idea
Stop.
to destroy
Here we go.
humanity,
Stop.
and so they thought, well, let's
the editing
create
start.
online.
So you'd want to be on every platform, ideally,
Well, it's a free game, so yes.
so you don't
Yeah.
have the stigma of exclusives type of thing.
I know where you're going with this.
We're going
Pray
there.
tell, Mogamu.
We're gonna ease into it.
Okay.
All right. We've got PC,
That's right.
PS4,
Yep.
Xbox,
Yep.
Switch now.
Oh yeah.
Yep. That's right.
What's left? I mean, no, Discord.
Discord, we're on
Yep.
Discord.
Discord. Yep.
So we're kind of hitting the.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's left? Activision, Blizzard,
Yeah.
and
Get us on BattleNet launcher.
Epic Store.
Get us on Epic Store.
Right.
I know.
Epic Store.
Yeah.
Phones.
Phones.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Stadia.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have phones, right?
Hey. Where's the
Everyone's got
camera?
a phone.
How do I?
Oh,
Are we
Warframe
editing
Immortal.
that out? Yeah.
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 I think for a free-to-play game like Warframe that has the player base, the community, the kind of, I still think Warframe has an amazing wow factor. I love it dearly. Having it in as many places as possible is A-okay in my books, as long as we have the team to support it. The last thing we'd want to do is spread ourselves too thin in terms of community and dev to not deliver something we're paying a lot of attention to. I think the fragmentation of PC launchers is something we're already dealing with. We're on Steam, we're on Discord, we're on our standalone launcher. That's a very North American way of looking at it. We're a global thing, so we're on a whole bunch of other launchers around the world that are, well, not launchers around the world, but we're available in different areas around the world.
Okay.
And obviously the hot topic right now is the Epic Game Store and what that means for
We Game in China, right?
Wii Game in China. We're kind of,
Every
a new
one
one.
of those adds like a, would you say spread ourselves too thin?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of what we
Do.
intentionally do to ourselves
yeah.
everywhere?
Yeah.
I mean,
Is that in
we're-
the tagline?
Yeah.
like that's like, yeah,
Yeah.
open beta / spread themselves too thin.
Yeah.
Our reach is always exceeding our grasp on this
Yeah.
game. But adding those platforms means you have a new API. Like if you want to go on Stadia, you have to have Vulkan. We don't have Vulkan yet. If you want to go to phones, then you're looking at Metal API. So every new feature you add, like, hey, we're going to do Railjack, which means we need to have all these space neighborhoods. That means we're going to have to make it work for Switch. We're going to have to make it work for PlayStation 4, for PC. So it does add another, proverbial straw on the back of the devs.
Yeah. Which is why teams grow.
So a managerial person would be like, it's everywhere. And the engineering person would be like, whoa, slow down.
I will role play as the managerial person, and you can be the engineer on this.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you grow every time you expand to, like,
Yeah.
if you were to expand to a new launcher, do you feel like that would appeal to Fortnite fans, or do you appeal to Overwatch fans?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I actually don't know.
If we grow when we
I don't
expand,
know.
I think it's like there is measurable growth. Is
Yeah.
it, if you define growth solely by did you add more new players to the game, then it does happen. But it's also just like you do. It's not like all of a sudden we doubled our user base size, like just every time we add a new launcher. But
About how much did you grow with PlayStation? Just out of curiosity. From
With
PC to
PlayStation?
PlayStation, yeah.
well, right now I think it's like if you were to add up all our platforms, like PC is 50% and all the consoles together are
Oh, wow.
50%. So of 100% of all our players, it's split 50-50 between PC and all consoles. So as a whole, all console players equal PC. But in between there's different sizes, of course.
2013 DE was playing a lot of Left 4 Dead as well.
Yeah, 2013 DE
I
was-
remember.
Yeah.
You got. I remember. I think it's a quote from you.
That's right.
You were saying Left 4 Dead in space or
That's
something.
right.
That's right. Yep.
So I'm going to call you on that.
Yeah, man. Yep.
What is Warframe?
Still Left 4 Dead. No,
Still
it's
Left 4 Dead in
not. No,
space?
it's not at all
Yeah.
anymore.
What is Warframe?
Deep breath.
Yeah. Oof.
We have open worlds. We have almost 40 playable characters. We have primes. We have quests. We have towns. We have. What is it?
Warframe is a grand experiment.
Yes.
It is a space ninja game, but it is a grand experiment. Even this year, I think you're going to see us pulling in aspects of Elite Dangerous or Star Citizen. Later this year, you're going to see us trying to be sort of innovative with an all-new take on the way coordination and raids work in games. We have fishing.
Very important.
It really is. We've been lucky enough to get an audience that sticks with us, and so how do we keep them interested, and how do we keep ourselves interested? And I think that means we are, all, like we said, spreading ourselves too thin. It's constantly what we're doing.
Honestly, it feels like it's a science fiction saga that you're a part of real time in a rooted in Space Ninja.
Yep.
So like compare Warframe to one game.
One game.
Just one.
Are you going to say Phantasy Star Online 2 just to take the
You only get one.
compare it to one game?
It could be
Yeah.
old, or I would imagine it's probably older, but one game. If
Oh my god.
is it too much?
No, like because there's so many parts of Warframe that are comparable in that like it's 4-player co-op, it's multiplayer, it's sci-fi. Like do you want to say Mass Effect because it's kind of that now?
I've heard that.
Like do you want to say Mass Effect 3 or do you want to say something that isn't known for being single player, right? Like there's so many ways of looking at this because that's a single player game.
I come back to Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
But absolutely, structurally, Phantasy Star Online is probably a better parallel.
Yeah.
Good.
So, well, he asked us both a question, so I'll say Left 4 Dead and you can say Phantasy Star
That's
Online.
not fair. How long is Warframe gonna last? We're in what, year 6?
Yeah.
We're
Well, we
year
just
6.
I know this is a
we just
spiritual.
released Hildren, so we have to at least release Hildren Prime, and we
Okay.
release 3 primes a year, so we have to get through all the other work. So at least 4 years.
World of Warcraft is still going.
I know.
Yeah.
A couple other popular games.
Yeah.
Pokemon still makes 2 games.
Yeah, I think before we started the game, just doing the research, if it hits, then you're 10 years or more.
Right.
Is the general wisdom among the Game Developer Conference presenters.
Yes.
That seems surreal that we're even 6 years in.
7.
7 years
Yeah.
in. Where'd the time go? I think it does. a service-based game, I don't think has this sudden death to it. It probably has a kind of a more of a parabolic shape to it. Yeah.
The world of video game releases is a beautiful, spectacular place that is backed by $1 million this, amazing that, indie secret release this, a surprise launch like Apex Legends. It's just a surprising place. And for 7 years, Warframe kind of quietly entered the scene. Mm-hmm. We've kind of always flown under the radar, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, you're just always happy to have them there, happy to come back and forth, go try out other games, come back to Warframe. And I think I love being a part of people's lives as that sort of reliable source of fun. And I just feel like we're like that. Does this analogy not work for you? Did it lose you?
We have more terrible analogies that are probably not repeatable.
What do you mean?
Power of editing.
Yeah.
What do you mean not repeatable?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The one I use is our goal is to be.
Oh my God! Don't even say it. I know where you're going with this.
Is it not safe? Are we okay?
If you're doing the one I think you're going to do,
we're in it now. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, our goal is to be the wife, not the mistress.
And I'm trying to say you're the quiet friend from
or the husband and not the the guy you meet at the bar.
That's too scandalous.
It is scandalous.
Like when you're growing up in school and you know the kids in your class. There's like the popular one and there's the one kid that no one really has anything bad to say about. They're always a good time. They'll always share their food with you. Like they're just like the cool, kind of quiet kid that's just always there and
right.
And gets you the nicest, most thoughtful birthday gift every now and then, Like that's us, I think. I'm using schoolyard analogies and you're using scandalous analogies. So.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I like his better. Twitter questions. Ask them if they're going to provide more lore for Ortis.
Work in progress, Ortis Quest.
It was Ortis Quest in Ortis.
Did you mention this before?
I did.
I saw a few.
That's right, yep.
I've read the quest pitch and it's beautiful.
When will we be seeing the operator's father? I like to call him Space Dad in the story again. Love you, DE.
Space Dad?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Dad, but it's someone, all right.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
All right.
Yep, that's this year.
That's this year.
Cross-platform or cross-platform saves?
With Nightwave, we did a simultaneous launch. Mm-hmm. And with Exploiter, we put it into cert really, really aggressively. So first we got to find our feet for getting those releases more in tandem.
Yep.
Account sort of cross progression, I think would probably be where we would begin.
Like you could even do it with Nightwave. Nightwave would be the only cross progression thing.
And that's what I was going to ask. How do you feel? This is not here.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about more unified releases across all platforms?
It is an ideal we aspire to.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Are you going to put more lore into the Helmeth room?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It will be more than just a zombie dog and cosmetic interference.
Yes.
Okay. Will we ever get a PvP overhaul or Battle Royale? PvP overhaul.
Yes.
And
there is a work in progress PvP mode that isn't combat PvP. So I know we called Lunaro a competitive side thing. It's totally just an idea someone has. So you might hear more about that on a future dev stream.
Ask them about the flying Eidolon.
Oh, okay. We showed animations is really the only thing we've shown last year. And I think people are going to be really surprised with what that's going to look like and where it's going to look like it. Very, very interesting in 2019's future.
I think you teased it a little bit.
Did we?
It was, you were showing, I don't know if I'm spoiling
That's
here.
right.
Okay, this might not be a spoiler. You were showing the Gas City?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So
then, there you go.
There you go.
How advanced are the works on the Kingpin system?
We couldn't get something we liked.
No.
But I think really those people now are focused on the Railjack update, unfortunately.
Is DE still planning to re-implement past events as mini quests?
Oh, so things like the Gradivis Dilemma and how come infested Valid B and the Tube Men. The Gradivis Dilemma, we made the invasion system, so we brought it back as a system. It's just the lore from it that people want, which I think the Codex is a solution for.
Yeah, we have, I think the Codex is the plan B. The plan A is to implement it as playable.
Yeah.
We have no one acting on that.
Yeah.
We just have
We want to do it.
We just have the intentions, unfortunately.
reworks, which mostly are Vauban and Ember. Is it Vauban?
Vauban.
Boban, yeah.
Vauban and Ember are all down the page.
Because the popular opinion now is Ember and Vauban need them, that means those will be, I mean, and Wukong, even though it's probably not on your Twitter.
I saw a couple.
Yeah, like those would be the 3 most likely to all get reviewed this year, I would say. It feels like unless you rework them to be damage masters, they're not going to fit in with the current state of Warframe.
Right.
So how has the game changed so much that this Vauban is no longer good? And to change him to meet the current game would be the goal, and that's what everyone wants. But then you also have the idea of, well, what else in the game could change to bring all CC frames up? So I think there's just so many interesting and genuinely good conversations that could come from there. And at the end of the day, if you're someone that loves Vauban and Ember, you probably don't want to hear this long-winded answer about what are you doing in my Warframe. But the answer is they will definitely, I would say, all get a review this year in a way that allows players who care to be part of the conversation of what happens.
Will there ever be a time that Warframe gets away from the endless farming?